Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. Today basically we have to cover chapter number 16 part 1, that is communication security. Very important chapter for examination point of view and very easy topic. Lot of questions you will find from this chapter in the examination. So now let's start our discussion further. So first of all, what it tells that what is the importance of this unit? It is security of the information. That is what we have information. For that security, it is very important. So security of the information in transit is achieved by using the different encryption techniques and the protocols. So this information is it is to be transferred continuously. So we have to be provide security to that information. Okay. So the objective of this unit is to explain the cryptography, digital signature, and their application. So first of all, we have to be discussed regarding the cryptography in detail. So now let's start regarding that. So what is the meaning of the word cryptography here? The safety of a computer the safety of a computer data relies heavily on the physical security of the computer itself. Yeah. If the computer itself it is safe, so we can assume that the data under the system it is also safe. However, computer data often travels from one computer to another, leaving the safety of its protected physical surrounding. However, the computer data often travels from one computer to the another, leaving the safety of its protected physical surrounding. So in such a case, data can fall in the hands of the people with bad intentions also. Clear in such case, data can fall in the hands of the people with bad intentions who could modify or forge the data for their amusement or benefit. Clear? So in such cases, data can fall in the hands of the people with bad intention who could modify or forge. Forge basically we can say that like duplicate, try to create the data for their abusement or benefit. So cryptography here can reformat and transform data, making it safer on a trip between the computers. So the technology is based on the essentials of the secret code. So in the cryptography, this we can say that like secret codes augmented by the modern mathematics that protects data in the powerful ways. So cryptography it is to be used here to protect the data from being theft or from being modified. So now let's discuss in detail regarding all these points one by one. Clear? And I will tell you definitely 4 to 5 questions, straightforward question you will get in the examination from this chapter. Very easy question. So what is the cryptography? Clear? This from this paragraph, one question we can expect. Lot of definitions here. Cryptography, what is the meaning? Cryptography, it is the art and science of keeping files and messages secure. Clear? So what is cryptography? It is the art and science of keeping files and messages secure. In cryptographic terminology, the message it is called the plain text or the clear text. Clear? So in cryptographic terminology, the message is called the plain text or the clear text. Encoding the contents. Clear? So first of all, plain text. Then it will goes to the encryption method. Here, encryption key is to be used to make it to the ciphertext. Clear? So what is the meaning of ciphertext here? Let's discuss. So in cryptography technology, the message it is called as the plain text or clear text. Encoding the contents of this message in such a way that hide its content from outsiders is called the encryption. Clear? So what is the meaning of encryption? That is encoding the contents of the message that hides its original content from the outside. The encrypted message is called the ciphertext. Clear? So what is the ciphertext? That is encrypted message. It is called the ciphertext. The process of retrieving the plain text. This is the process of retrieving the plain text from the ciphertext. It is called as decryption. Now we have to be again want the plain text after the transfer. Then we have to use the encryption method, that is the encryption key. The encrypted message is called the ciphertext. The process of retrieving the plain text from the ciphertext, it is called the decryption. Encryption and decryption usually makes use of a key and the cooling method. Clear? Encryption and decryption usually makes use of a key and the coding method is such that decryption can be performed only by knowing the proper key. That a description can be performed only by knowing the proper. Okay. And the coding method is that the decryption can be performed only by knowing the proper key. Okay. So in this way, only not anyone can decrypt the message. You have to also the key that is from which how we have to encrypt that message. You have to be know regarding that. Okay. Otherwise, anyone can decrypt that message. Clear? Otherwise, anyone can decrypt that message. So you have to be take careful regarding all these points also here. Okay. Now we have to move to the next point. So a mathematical function used for encryption and decryption. It is called a cryptographic algorithm or cipher. Clear? So that is ciphertext, that is the encrypted text. So a mathematical function that is used for encryption and decryption, it is called a cryptographic algorithm of cipher. A symmetric cipher uses the same key. Clear? There are that is symmetric and asymmetric. That is a symmetric cipher uses the same key for encryption and decryption. Clear? Symmetric cipher uses the same key for encryption and decryption as opposed to a public key or a asymmetric cipher. Clear? So symmetric cipher uses the same key for the encryption and decryption as opposed to a public key or a asymmetric cipher. So symmetric cipher that is uses the same key. It is fall broad into two categories. First one that is the stream ciphers. Second one that is the block cipher. Okay, so now let's discuss regarding that one. So what are the symmetric ciphers? Fall into two broad categories. First one, the stream ciphers, which work on plain text. That is one bit at a time. Yes, stream ciphers, basically which work on a plain text. That is one bit at a time. On the other side, block ciphers, which works on group of bits. Clear? Which work on groups of bits, that is blocks. So an encryption method that may use different keys for the encryption and decryption. Clear? So an encryption method basically uses different keys for the encryption and decryption. So in other words, we can say that a stranger can use your public key to encrypt a message that only you or holder of your private key can decrypt. Okay. So I think you are able to understand now. Basically, the person who holds your private key, only that person can decrypt that message, or can understand that message, or can make the message from the ciphertext to the plain text. That it is comes under the symmetric cipher. So I think all of you are able to understand all the points to be here. There are many points, and I hope you are able to understand. Now, next one, which we have to cover here, that is, what is the meaning of the word key and what are the types of encryption methods? So for all sessions, you can join our batch. Continuously sessions will be provided on that. Elective IT, specifically for the CAB elective. Now move further. MCQs in the Telegram will be provided in the quiz form for the practice purpose. So what is a key? A key, it is a string of characters. Clear? Now here we have discussed like public key or private key. So what is the meaning of the word key here? So what is a key? A key, it is a string of characters. Here, what is a key? A key, it is a string of characters used to mathematically encode a message. Here, a key, it is a string of characters used to mathematically encode a message so that it can only be read by someone in possession of that key or another related key, depending upon whether the encryption method being used is a symmetric or asymmetric. Here, it depends upon the method. Here, which method you are to be using here, that is either it is to be symmetric or asymmetric. So what is a key? A key, it is a string of characters used to mathematically encode a message. They used to mathematically encode a message so that it can only be read by someone in possession of that key or another related key, so that it can only be read by someone in possession of that key or another related key, depending on the depending on whether the encryption method being used is asymmetric or asymmetric. Most crypto systems, okay, most crypto systems rely on a key which can be one of a large number of values. Clear? Most symmetric crypto systems rely on a key, rely on a key which can be one of a large number of values, that is the key space. So in general, the security of a cipher lies basically in the keys. Clear? Either you are using the symmetric or asymmetric. And basically, what is the key? It is a string of characters used to mathematically encode a message so that it can read by someone in possession of that key or another related key. So what are the two types of the encryption algorithms? So there are two types of the encryption algorithms. First one, that is the symmetric encryption. Second one, that is the asymmetric encryption. Clear? So what are the two types of the encryption algorithms? First one, that is the symmetric encryption. Second one, that is the asymmetric encryption. Now let's discuss regarding that. So what is the meaning of the symmetric encryption? So in this encryption, symmetric encryption, the sender and receiver encrypts and decrypts the message with the same key. Symmetric, same key. Okay, so in this encryption technique, the sender and the receiver encrypt and decrypt the message with the same key. Examples are two fish, serpent, AES, ringitile, glowfish, RC4, 3DES, skipjack, etc. All are the examples of the symmetric encryption. We can say that all are the tools for that. That is having the same key, or we can say that the symmetric encryption. Two fish, serpent, AES, blowfish, cast, chick, RC4, 3DES, skipjack, etc. All these things comes under the symmetric key. Now, next one, that is the asymmetric. That is, in this encryption, clear asymmetric encryption, the sender encrypts a message with the receiver's public key. Clear? The sender encrypts the message. Sender. With which, how they have encrypted the message? With the receiver's public key. Okay. Why? Because the receiver can able to also decrypt the information with the recipient's private key. Okay, that is opposite. Both the opposite. Sender, receiver, receiver, sender. Okay. So in this encryption technique, the sender encrypts the message with the receiver's public key and the receivers decrypt the information with the recipient's private key. Clear? Recipient private key. Hence, this technique, it is called as a public key encryption. Clear? So, asymmetric encryption, it is to be also known as the public key encryption. So, example are Diffie-Hellman, RSA, ECC, LGML, DSA, etc. Clear? Here also, that is, please remember that here it is AES or RC4. Clear? Here RCS, RCA. Clear? So RC4A, it is also some important points regarding that. First of all, we will discuss it. That is first one. There is the message it is to be provided by the sender, then plain text, how it will be encrypted by the recipient's public key. After it becomes the ciphertext, then it will de-encrypt. How it will be de-encrypted by the recipient's private key, clear, by the recipient's private key. Plain text, then it will be the recipient. Okay, or the receiver, we can say that recipient. This one, it is the recipient private key. This one, it is also the recipient's private key. Now move to the next one, some important points regarding it. So among the, so which method it is the best and which method it is the easier way also. So among the various methods or models of the symmetric cipher, the RIN, RI, sorry, RIJAN, there is little bit typing error, range dial. It is the best. Clear, range dial, it is the best, and it is among which that is, it is the symmetric encryption. Actually, it is a role model of DES and AES. This model, it is adopted by different information agencies like NSA, NIST, FIPS. So among the various, this is regarding the symmetric cipher. Now among the symmetric, so please remember that RIJEN DAEL, it is the best. So among the various asymmetric ciphers, RSA, it is a, here RSA, it is a moderate and more useful. Clear. Among the various asymmetric ciphers, RSA is the moderate and most useful for the small data encryption. Clear? For the small data encryption, like the digital signature or ATM pin, etc. Clear? Small data encryption for the like the digital signature and the ATM to be hit. So now move to the next one. There are some difference between that asymmetric and symmetric. So attribute symmetric system and asymmetric crypto system. So first one here, that is the key. So one key is a shared between the two or more entities in the symmetric crypto system. And in the case of asymmetric crypto system, one key has a public key and other entity has a private key. Clear? One entity has a public key that is for the encryption and other entity has a private key for the decryption. Okay. First difference. Second one, that is the key exchange. Out of band. Here that is key exchange, it is out of band. Here that is public key is encrypted and set with the message. And thus the key is distributed by the inbound means. Clear? And thus the key is distributed by the inbound means. Third one, that is speed. Algorithm is less complex and faster. Here in the case of symmetric. Here that is in the case of asymmetric algorithm, it is more complex and slower. Okay, asymmetric, because different keys are to be used here. Key length. In the case of symmetric, the key length it is to be fixed here. In the case of asymmetric, key length it is to be also changed or variable. Application, that is bulk encryption like files, key encryption and distribution key. Clear? Bulk encryption like files. Here that is key encryption and distribution key. Example, pin of the 8. Last one, that is the security level, confidentiality and integrity. Confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-reputation. Clear? So security level here, that is confidentiality and integrity. Here that is confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-reputation. Okay. Security level. So these are some of the basic difference among the asymmetric and the symmetric. So kindly remember both these points, because even in the form of the case study, you will get this type of question. Clear? Okay, so we can expect anything, because in the examination, theoretical case study type question you will get in the examination. So you have to be very careful regarding that points also here. Now we have to move to the next point. So, but as discussed above, RSA, asymmetric technique, is much slower than the Argentine. That is the symmetric technique. Yeah. So RSA and basically symmetric and asymmetric techniques. Symmetric technique, it is faster. So what as discussed above, RSA, that is asymmetric technique, it is much slower than the RGTL, that is symmetric technique, and other symmetric cipher techniques. But the scalability of the asymmetric crypto system, it is far higher than the symmetric crypto system. Clear? Because the asymmetric crypto system, it is much safer than the symmetric. So thus where the number of users is huge and required keys are very high, asymmetric crypto system proves to be superior. Okay. Where the number of system users is huge and required keys are very high. So at that time, asymmetric crypto system proves to be superior. It is scientifically predicted that the symmetric cipher like Ringindale is supposed to be secure against mathematical attacks until 2019. Thus, they are very suitable for the hardware level securities in communicating devices. Clear? In communicating devices. Please remove this here. Okay, so thus these are very suitable for the hardware level securities in the communicating the devices. So please remember that basically which is used for the hardware level security, that is range in tail. It is to be used for the hardware level and it is comes for the symmetric encryption. Okay. So any other point you want to ask it, please ask. The rest we will discuss in the next session and I will provide you the question in the group. So please answer this question very seriously. Because you know that basically it shows a little bit difficult topic, but it is not as much difficult. Just you have to understand the points properly. So thanks to all of you for joining this short discussion. We will provide you two more sessions on this chapter along with that. So thanks to all of you.